What is going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to come back to it, and I wanted to bring you a story about Susan Sarandon. And she was dropped by her agent for making anti-Semitic comments. And what she was doing is she was comparing Islamophobia with anti-Semitism. And she was saying that Islamophobia happens at much greater rates. And of course, that's not even close to being true. But guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
Oscar award-winning actress Susan Sarandon was just dumped by her Hollywood agents over these comments.
There are a lot of people that are afraid of being Jewish at this time and are getting a taste of what it feels like to be a Muslim in this country, so often subjected to violence. It's important to listen. It's important to have facts. Try to take a breath before you answer. And if it's possible, have a conversation. We need a ceasefire now.
Asra Nomani is author of Woke Army and senior fellow for the Independent Women's Network, and she joins me now. Asra, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We've had you on before, and you have such clarity on a wide range of issues, but this one hits close to home for you because you are Muslim living in America, and you just heard Susan Sarandon there. She clearly doesn't think this country treats Muslims fairly. So what is your message to her?
So my message to her is I am a Muslim living in America, and I know more freedoms living in the United States of America than I would any Muslim country in the world. It was here in America that my mother and father arrived in the 1960s. My father got a PhD. My mother was able to work for a living. My mother was able to live with her hair free in the wind. My father became a professor at West Virginia University. He got a job offer to Libya, where he had to make a choice whether he would work for the dictator, the Muslim dictator, Muammar Gaddafi, as an indentured servant, essentially, or live free in the United States of America. And this is where he chose. I wrote a tweet and I said, I took a picture of my parents. My dad's now 90, my mom is in her 80s. And I said, here we are in West, by God, Virginia, and we are living as free Americans. And that is what she should know about the Muslim experience in America.
The thing is, man, people like Susan Sarandon, they don't know what they're talking about, man. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They don't. You know, again, they say things like the Jewish folks are, you know, they don't know they don't know oppression. They don't know. I mean, they're getting a taste of their own medicine or whatever. And this woman is unhinged. She truly is. I mean, not even close to being correct. Not even close. And the thing is, man, less than 2.5% of the population, which are Jewish people, they receive 60% of religious hate crime. And we truly have to understand that that's not from me. That's from the FBI. And I'm going to show you a clip here in a second of Christopher Wray, the FBI director, talking about this. But, I mean, we got to truly understand, man, Muslim people that come here from other countries, man, again, they have the right to, they have more freedom here. They have the right to do what they want, to go after what they want, to worship the way they want. You know, the women, they can go out of the house without wearing a veil in front of their face. I mean, again, we have to truly understand. You know, I know quite a few Muslim people that have come here from other countries and have been here for a while. And these are very patriotic people, you know, that love this country and love the way it is. But, you know, again, we have truly got to understand the left right now, the radical left, they want you to believe that these folks don't have opportunities and they're being discriminated against, they're being targeted, and it's not true, not even close to being true. I mean, again, these folks, especially the ones that come from other countries, they come here and they're like, you know, they have full equality, full opportunity, they can do what they want to do, they can become what they want to become, and they can worship the way they want to worship. Again, that's not the way it is in the country they came from, where they came from. So again, we live in a great country, but the left, they want you to believe that we don't. Guys, I'm going to show a clip here from Stephen Crowder, and he shows a clip from Christopher Wray, the FBI director, and they're talking about this, and he talked about the actual numbers.
Truth matters. Here's the claim that they're making. Okay, that both anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are way up. All right, here's the truth statistically. Anti-Semitism has increased significantly, and a huge portion of that, comes from the Islamic world, and it's increased far more than Islamophobia. So from October 7th, 2023 to today, versus the same period last year as a comparison. And these sources, just to be clear, they have to come from the ADL and CARE, who are clearly biased because we don't really have these new numbers. Yes, they definitely would be more left-leaning biased. ADL probably would register both of them because, hate crimes are catnip to the ADL, but CARE certainly has a dog in this fight, considering that they have been recognized as an actual terrorist organization, I believe by the UAE, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there have been a few different nations. So anti-Semitic hate crimes, meaning attacks against Jewish people, have increased 388%. Then the claim is that anti-Islamic hate crimes have increased 216%. Okay, so those are from the ADL and CARE. But here we have the FBI director, Chris Wray, saying that hate crimes are disproportionately anti-Semitic, and then we'll give you some of those numbers.
What proportion of these hate crimes has been directed towards Muslims, for instance? If 60% were towards Jews, what percent towards Muslims?
I don't have that percentage, but it's obviously quite a bit smaller than 60% by definition. But I think that the point that I was trying to make there, which I really think Americans need to understand, is how wildly disproportionate, if you could ever use a word like proportionate in something like this, that is. 2.4% of the American public, 60% of religious-based hate crimes. This is a group that has the outrageous distinction of being uniquely targeted, and they need our help.
So you have the CARE numbers, and you have the ADL numbers sort of more internationally, but these are now the numbers from the FBI.
We have truly got to recognize, man, that right now in this country and in the Western world, if you see anything at all about Islam, that you're being Islamophobic. And again, we have truly got to recognize that there are certain things from the Islamic religion that we don't want in the Western world, that we don't want in the United States. We don't want it. Again, we're not going to push gay people off rooftops. We don't do that here. That's not what we want. But again, you can't criticize them. We're not going to make women walk around wearing veils over their face. We're not going to do that. But again, these leftist radicals, they're like, oh, we got to understand where they're coming from. We got to understand their culture. We can't say anything about what they do. Really, I think we better say something about what they're wanting to do, because we don't want that in our countries. We don't. And again, man, we have to understand, though, these leftists, man, they get very upset for a white man, for a white Christian man, to say that he disagrees with abortion. He disagrees, and, they get very upset about that. They yell and they scream and they say, how dare you have an opinion on this? You're a man. You're a white Christian man. How dare you? You have all the privilege in the world. But if a Muslim man says, hey, look, I don't want that. I disagree with that. As a matter of fact, I disagree with abortion, and I want to push gay people off of buildings or whatever because I disagree with homosexuality or whatever, man. Then, you're like, oh, well, that's okay. That's okay. That's part of your religion. That's part of your culture. Screw their culture. Now, I'm not talking about all Muslims, of course not. But I'm talking about these ones that want to do things in those ways. We don't want that in our countries. We don't. We have to recognize that. And people have got to be allowed to speak out on that without getting censored or yelled at or called Islamophobic or whatever. They've got to be able to speak on these things. Because, again, we have got to recognize, man, that there are certain things that we don't want in the U.S., And there are certain things that we don't want in the Western world, period. But guys, I'm going to show a clip here from a guy, and I forgot who this guy is, but he's making a lot of sense. He's telling people, especially the gays for Palestine or whatever, that they would not be your friend. They wouldn't help you out. They would not. You know, again, they would kill you. They don't like you. But you believe that all victims are the same. They belong to the same groups. They would help each other out. They would not. But guys, watch this.
These women here, go to Gaza. You want to go talk in Gaza? These women, they can't talk in Gaza. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's become fashion. It's fashion. It's fashion, this bullshit. It's fashionable. Yes. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, does it? How many bombs? France, in fucking Syria, here, London. But all it is an excuse to hate Jews. It's us. The problem's us, innit? It's us. You think tomorrow, if there was no Israel, this problem would be solved? They fucking kill each other. What, genocide? We're the worst that committed genocide. The fucking population has tripled in the last 10 fucking years. Genocide. These people they're fucking idiots. They're idiots blind by hate.
I mean, the thing is, man, right now, the radical left, they believe that anything white and Christian and Jewish is bad. You know, it's the oppressors. And anything that's Muslim and brown, they're the victims. They're the victims of everything. And it doesn't matter if they would make victims out of you. It doesn't matter. You're going to stand behind them because you've been brainwashed into believing this bullshit. You've been brainwashed into believing that, you know, that a Christian white man who speaks up against abortion is bad. How dare him? But a Muslim person, a Muslim man that speaks up and says, I don't like abortion. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's part of your culture. That's part of who you are, your religion. That's okay. And, you know, and by the way, they don't want you walking out of your house without a veil. Oh, that's okay. And if you do so, they're going to beat you. They're going to beat you. And they might, you know, kill a couple of gay people while they're at it too, because they don't like gay people. Oh, that's okay. Because again, that's part of their culture. That's part of their religion. We truly have to understand they will make victims out of you. So again, we also have to recognize, man, I'm not saying all of them, but some. They want to take over the Western world. They want to take the Western world over. They want it to be theirs. We have to recognize that. And I'm going to show you one last clip showing you what I'm talking about. But guys, we have got to open up our eyes to what's happening, and we got to be able to criticize certain things.
Neighborhood. You know, I was walking towards this masjid with our Imam Uthman, and I asked him about this neighborhood, and he said this neighborhood is all mostly non-Muslim, predominantly white people, okay? And my question was, how are we going to give them da'wah? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put you and I in this country for a purpose, right? Yes? We have come here for a purpose. And the purpose is da'wah. The purpose was not to make shops and drive buses and do other things. MashaAllah, halal, earning halal is a good thing. It's not a problem. But why do you earn? The question is, why do you make money? Is it to feed your stomachs? Is it to buy gold? Is it to buy a flashy car? Is it to put a carpet in your house? All of these things will remain behind. This church was made in 1930s, right? And as the Sheikh put it, who was worshipped here? The Trinity. Yes? And now it belongs to the Muslims. Now it belongs to the Muslims. And if you don't stand up today, brothers and sisters, and take control of this situation which Allah has given you, this is an opportunity. And if you don't take advantage of this opportunity, tomorrow only Allah knows who will be controlling this building.
Guys, we truly have got to stand up for this country before it's too late. We do. You know, again, man, don't worry about if you're called Islamophobic or racist or whatever. And people have got to stop worried about that, because they're going to call you what they're going to call you anyways. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're, especially if you're white and you're Christian, and you're a male, oh my God, they're going to call you names. They're not going to let you anyways, man. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do what you're going to do. Say what you're going to say. Speak up. Because, again, we made this country great. I'm not just talking about white people or males or whatever, man, but anyone who stands behind the ideals in this country. And no, not everything has always been perfect, but things are the best here than they are throughout the world. This country and the Western world, man, it is the best place to live. We have to truly understand that. Especially the U.S., man. But again, we have got to recognize, man, that they're going to call you names no matter what. They've been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed by the media and whatever, man. They're going to call you. They're going to think of you as whatever anyways. So you might as well, speak up. Say what you got to say. Because, again, they're not going to like you anyways. But we have to recognize, man, if we don't stand up, we don't start speaking out against things, this country is gone. We have to recognize, and the Western world is gone. We truly have got to recognize that. But guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a